Warning, this podcast contains bad words and stories about drugs and sex and overthrowing the government. Proceed with caution. Thank you. And now on to our show. Wake up, brother, we got nothing to do. Let's go outside, just me and you, and build a fort. We'll pack a lunch, won't be home till after dark. Then after dinner we can sneak back out. You know that high school girl I've been telling you about? Well, she gets undressed about 8:45, and we can watch her do it from the big old pine next door. She got a room on the second floor. Well, looks like another fucked up day in paradise. Hey, Dan Kelly, Sri Fuji Split. And this is the Daughter of Godcast, episode 178, Memory, Season 5, Climax. Just a check-in, every week or few, a stolen moment together, we two. Aww. Aww. So, today I'm in my meditation space. It's a little space I come to when I want to meditate on purpose. Sometimes I meditate wherever I am, but this is a little space I've created that I often meditate in. And why are we here? Well, we're going to talk about memory and meditation and how they go together a little bit later. But for now, I'm just going to talk about memory. And by the way, all podcast episodes from now on will be short, nice and short, hopefully 5 to 7 minutes, maybe even less. Gonna catch up on podcasting. You haven't seen me in a while. And so I'm going to get a bunch of episodes cranked out so we can keep our once a week record. Yeah. So let's get started, shall we? Without further ado. Memories used to be stories that I told about the past. They had a beginning, a middle, an end, and often even a tidy moral. Stories about what happened can be fun, but they aren't the same as what happened. Since I've let go of stories, my memories seem to have a higher fidelity. The feelings, colors, sounds, and words come back smooth and clear, perhaps because they are not required to serve an agenda, point me in a direction, or reveal some pattern. Yesterday's details need not be significant of anything other than themselves. I have a memory that I shan't share today. Suffice to say, my recollection of a specific event long ago feels mysterious, wondrous, sublime, edged with longing. Back then, this event gave me a glimpse of a future. I had a remote knowing. Fast forward 20 years to just the other day. That distant intuition was confirmed. My knowing had come to pass. This confirmation became a new desire, a strong, decisive clarity. The story I'm telling now is about the present. Decline is not inevitable. Mundane circumstance can spotlight our heart's desires. Clarity inspires choice, in a nutshell. Now, for this week's gift, I'm enjoying quieting my mind for 20 minutes or so every day with meditation. I'm pretty good at letting go of thought chatter, but often I have an amazing idea while I'm sitting quietly, an idea I'd really like to remember and act on later. What to do? I'm choosing to just be in that moment, but I don't want to lose that fabulous idea. So, a memory scaffold is a trick to remember a list of 10 things, names, ideas, whatever. The numbers 1 to 10 are each associated with a rhyming word. You then take that word and make a mental picture of that word interacting with whatever you want to remember. The first memory scaffold I learned went something like 1 is a gun, 2 is a shoe, 3 is a tree, and so on. So if I want to remember the list, tardigrade, chocolate donut, and Toshiro Mifune, I'd start with 1 is a gun and make a picture of a microscopic tardigrade holding a revolver, or maybe an M16. Then 2 is a shoe. I'd imagine a chocolate donut dancing with a wooden shoe, a Dutch style wooden shoe. And for 3 is a tree, I could imagine actor Toshiro Mifune climbing a tree like he did in Kurosawa's Seven Samurai. Then later, when I have some paper handy, I'd think 1 is a gun, and then the picture of the tardigrade with the gun would pop up, and so on. So I have nothing against guns and shoes, but making pictures of gun and shoe interactions didn't feel very inspiring. So now I have my own wilderness-based memory scaffold that's both fun and effective for me. So this is from a specific place where I spent a lot of time that I got all these pictures. And it's the North Manitou Island Memory Scaffold, which I used to go to a lot before it got so crowded and full of people who don't actually understand what a wilderness experience actually is. Tourists. But it's okay. It's all good. I might go back someday. The last time I was there, it was just a little crowded and not quite what I had experienced in the past, but things change. Transformation happens. There's still plenty of beauty coming. Okay, so this is based on my memories of North Manitou back in the day. North Manitou Island is part of the Sleeping Bear National Lakeshore. It's a really beautiful remote island that you have to get to by boat and by a big boat. And it's a designated wilderness area, so you're not allowed to have campfires there unless you're near the dock where the designated campgrounds are. Otherwise, it's just all wilderness and you just wander around and set up a tent someplace, as long as it's not on the beach overnight. Okay, so here's my North Manitou memory scaffold. 1, rising sun. 2, deep down blue. 3, birch tree. 4, forest floor. 5, beehive. 6, dune drift. 7, cedar resin. 8, big lake. 9, windy pine. And 10, Candlelight Days end. So I just did this. I just tried to record this podcast. My sound didn't stay on, so I've got all these things from my last time, so I'm going to now erase. So I'm erasing my memory scaffold of all those words. And what I've got here now is the Webster's Dictionary. You can see it's a pretty old version of a collegiate dictionary. I wasn't even in college when I got this as a kid. So what we're going to do is we're going to open this dictionary here at random and pick out words, and we're going to lock them into our memory scaffold and then bring them back. That's the theory. So here we go. So I got the first one. First word is direwolf. Ooh, that's a cool one. Direwolf. What's a direwolf? A large lupine mammal. Okay, so rising sun. 1, rising sun. I see a direwolf leaping over the sun as it rises up. Or even better, a direwolf silhouetted against the rising sun after a night of hunting with other direwolves. It's just like, had a good night of hunting, ate some fresh thing that I killed. I'm psyched. Just there in the silhouette, standing in the rising sun, even watching the rising sun coming up. There you go. 1, rising sun, direwolf. 2, intercourse. Well, that's pretty good. Yeah, well, that's a good one. Intercourse, act of running between, to run, connection of dealings between persons or groups. Look, it doesn't even have the best definition. How boring. All right, intercourse. Well, I'm going to think about sex, because that's what intercourse means to me. 2, deep down blue. Oh, I look through the lake. I look down through the water, the deep, beautiful 15, 20 feet of clear water, and I see on the bottom 2 amazingly beautiful people having intercourse. Yes, they're actually doing it underwater. How fun. So they must be free divers, right? To be able to hold their breath for that long. Yeah. What's the record? 10 minutes? Can you get off in 10 minutes? Probably. That'd be fun. I wonder if anybody who's tried that. Hey, anybody want to try that with me? Any hot babes who free dive want to try that with me? Just give me a call. Yeah, I'm here. So there we go. 2, deep down blue, intercourse. Intercourse. Okay, that's deep down blue. Now, 3, birch tree. New word. There's a bunch of too many words. Worm. There we go. Worm. It's an easy one. Okay, so 3, birch tree, worm. So I see a worm hanging out, like leaning up against the birch tree, kind of leaning against the birch tree like, dude, worm. Birch tree, 3, birch tree, worm. So worm hanging out by the birch tree. There he is. He's beautiful. He's a beautiful earthworm. Big old reddish, grayish earthworm. Yum. Okay, there you go. Reddish, purplish earthworm. 3, birch tree, worm. Okay, 4, forest floor. 4. So let's pick one for forest floor. There's a new one. Bam. Buzz. Forest floor. That's kind of easy. That's an easy one. Buzz. Forest floor. I see the forest floor, and there on the forest floor I see Buzz. Buzz Lightyear. Buzz Lightyear. Or I could see a bee buzzing. What would I like? Oh, let's have Buzz Lightyear. Fine. So there's Buzz Lightyear hanging out on the forest floor. He's just like kicked back. He's got his arms back like this. He's just chilling out. Buzz Lightyear. Buzz. Forest floor. 4, forest floor. Buzz. Okay, got it. Next. 5. Pick a new one. I'm looking for something good here. Oh, let's just pick another one. That's boring. Haunch. That's pretty good. So 5, beehive. Yeah, 5, beehive. Haunch. So I see a beehive, and there's the haunch is like what's a haunch? Is like the back of a leg, right? Haunch is, where do we see it here? Arch between the springing and the crown. What? Either side of an arch between the springing and the crown. Haunch. I always thought haunch meant haunch of meat. All right, well, I'm going to try and remember what I actually know here. I could do the haunch of I could do an arc. What is it? Beehive. No, dune drift for haunch. Well, actually, that's kind of good. So I've got a beautiful arch, and that's the dune drift is kind of making this arch, and maybe there's a haunch of meat there. Yum, meat. A haunch of raw meat. By the dune drift. Okay, there it is. There's an arcing dune drift with a haunch there. Haunch. Okay, got it. And what else we got? Cedar resin. Here's another word. New word. Submarine. Okay, so there we go. Cedar resin. And I see the cedar resin dripping, and it looks like a big old submarine. In fact, inside the cedar resin, I see a tiny submarine cruising through that cedar resin. There's a whole universe in there. Oh my God, there's submarines, and there's, what else? There's whales, submarine, cedar resin, submarine. 07, cedar resin, submarine. Okay, and then what else? Well, 08, big lake. Let's try another one. Here we go. Big lake. Ooh, catharsis. That's kind of an intense one. So the big lake, and I see myself getting into the big lake, and I'm having a catharsis. I'm letting go of all the things that have been bottled up, and I've been storing up all the trouble and difficulty. I'm having catharsis in the big lake. I feel the everything flowing out of me as the lake just permeates me with refreshment and joy. All right, there you go. There's 8, big lake, catharsis. And then what do we got now? 9, windy pine. 9, windy pine. 9, imp. Okay, so there we go. We've got a windy pine. It's all twisted around, and in that windy pine, there's a little hole in it, and there's an imp living in there, which is like a little creature, right? A small demon. But this is a friendly imp. And if you go and you talk to the cedar, the windy pine, 9, windy pine, there's that little imp there, and he'll give you advice, like, relationship advice, if you need to talk about, what's not working in your marriage. It's the marriage imp. Imp. Windy pine, imp. Okay, there we go. And then 10, candlelight. Day's end. One more word. Wren. Okay, so candlelight, day's end. So as the day is ending, there's a pet wren that has come into the tent, and we're sitting together, and that wren is just beautifully bird-like wren, and I see that wren flickering in the candlelight of day's end. 10, candlelight, day's end, Ren. And it helps that Ren rhymes with Day's End. Okay, so let's try and bring it back. Here we go. 1, rising sun, direwolf. There's the direwolf against the sun silhouetted. 2, deep down blue, hot, beautiful people, freedivers having sex down 20 feet below. Intercourse. 3, birch tree. Birch tree. Because see, I'm getting it mixed up with the one I had prior. Birch tree. 3, birch tree. Well, let's keep going. We'll come back to birch tree. 4, forest floor. That's Buzz Lightyear. And then 5, beehive. 5, beehive. Haunt. No, not haunch. Beehive. What was beehive? Shit. See how well this works? It works great. Beehive. I see bees. And what were they doing? So I keep thinking of fusion, which was the last one, but that's not what it was. Beehive. Bees. Shoot, I forgot that one too. Okay, so 6, dune drift. Let's see. Dune drift is haunch. Got that one. And then 7, cedar resin. That's a submarine. And 8, big lake. Shoot. Catharsis. Yes. 8, big lake, catharsis. 9, windy pine, imp. And 10, candlelight days end, wren. So we missed birch tree. 3, birch tree. What picture comes back for birch tree? Birch tree. I feel like I kind of might have skipped that one. Birch tree and beehive are both kind of blank. Birch tree. Yeah, I don't remember. Shucks. Well, 8 out of the 10. And the last list I did, I was perfect. I got all the way through it. Beehive. Well, I could certainly watch this back and listen to it. Anyway, so there you go. Demonstration of the North Manitou memory scaffold. It does work. I think because I actually had a previous list from the last failed recording, that kind of goofed me up a little bit. I tried to erase it there. You saw me trying to erase, but it didn't quite work. 3. No, wait, not 3. Let's see here. Yeah, 3, birch tree. 3, birch tree. What was it? Nothing's coming up. And beehive. I got that one missed too. Let's try one more. We'll go through it one more time. 1, rising sun. Direwolf. You know what we'll do? We'll do it from the first list. This is actually kind of cool. I'll give what I remember from the first list and the second list. And let's see here. Incandescence. How about prevaricate? Actually, right above that is small intestine. Ticker. Fission. Haunt. Ooh, that's kind of a good one. Syrup is temple. Helmet. How about that one? Substitution. So let's see how the first list is staying in there. So for the rising sun was incandescence for the first list, and the second list is direwolf. So deep down blue. Deep down blue was something walking crookedly. A woman walking crookedly, which is a weird word that I hadn't really very familiar with. But what was the word? Prevaricate. Oh my God, there it is. 2, deep down blue. Prevaricate for the first list, and the second list was intercourse. 3, birch tree. Birch tree for the first one was small intestine, and I'm still gapping on what it was for the second one. Birch tree. Huh. That's weird. And 4, forest floor. Ticker was the first one, and the second one for forest floor was buzz. And then 5, beehive. The first one was fusion. And I don't know why I'm not remembering what the second one is for beehive. I guess I didn't make strong enough images. 6, dune drift. The first one was haunt, and strangely, haunch as the second one. And then 7, cedar resin. The first one was syrup, and then the second one was submarine. And then for big lake, the first one was temple. The big lake was temple, and the second one was catharsis. And then Windy Pine. Windy Pine, first one was helmet. And then the second one was imp. And then for Candlelight Days End, the first one was something. Oh, Substitution. Substitution was the first one, and then the second one was Ren. So actually, that's not too bad. 18 out of 20 I remembered, and you didn't really see the first list, but you just have to trust me because that's the kind of relationship we have. I wouldn't lie to you unless I was going to tell you, unless I told you I was lying to you. So there you go, the memory scaffold. Done twice, but you only saw the second one. And I guess I got to make stronger pictures the second time around. But that's not too bad. I remembered 18 things. That's a lot more than 5 to 7, which is what people can normally remember if they don't use a memory scaffold, unless you're some kind of savant. Bam! So that was episode 178, Memory, Daughter of Godcast 5, Season 5, Climax. And my name is Dan Kelly, Shri Fuji Split. We get older and acquire memories. A memory from way back recently had a profound effect on my decision to regenerate, bloom, and become what I desire. My memories are even better now that they don't have to be stories. Because stories can change memories. Stories assign meanings to memory which can be pat, simplistic, and stifling. Watch out for that. I like my memories pure, fresh, and uninterpreted. The frantic thrust of pelvis in clinging diaphanous cotton, smooth bare legs wrapped around me in waist-deep dark water, hands gripping my neck, pulling me into hungry kisses. Now there's a memory for you.